gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Crypto Gaming Institute podcast. We're here on episode 45 with the co-founder of Avaxtars. How you doing, my man?
Thank you very much. How are you?
Well, I am doing fantastic, and I know that that very brief intro did not do your incredible work history justice. So, I'd love to really understand and kick this off by maybe giving us like a high level of some of the things you've done, but then go back and really tell us a story of how you got to where you are today.
Okay. My name is Ahmet Usta. I'm from Istanbul, Turkey. Actually, I'm an aerospace engineer from Istanbul Technical University with an MBA degree. And I started my professional career writing articles about the gaming technologies for gaming magazines like Game Pro and PC Games. That was about 25 years ago. And then I worked for different size of companies to manage their IT departments. And then I switched to a media company to manage their IT department. And because I have a background writing articles for the magazines, they forced me to write technical articles in those magazines. And then I switched completely my career to a technology writer. At the moment, I have a company, and with my own company, we are serving as company journalism, where we are creating platforms for the companies and organizations, and then create content for them. And one of those organizations is a fintech-oriented organization, and since the first day we started to work for that organization, we started to create content about the cryptocurrencies, blockchain, and other things. And that leads me to write the first book about blockchain technology in Turkey. And for the last couple of years, I have been delivering keynote speeches for the blockchain technology. I am delivering blockchain courses for the companies and for anyone who want to attend those courses. And also, I have translated some books from English to Turkish about blockchain technology, about the startups and other things. And last year, we started our first blockchain startup, which called Avaxtars, and I'm going to talk about Avaxtars more tonight with you.
I love it. I love it. So let's talk a little bit about what really inspired you to want to participate in the blockchain and in that space, because obviously you come from a pretty diverse background of just in the different things you were doing. So why did it make sense for you to go into the blockchain, and what was really the catalyst for that? Why did you want to do it in the first place?
Yeah, actually, the first time I met the blockchain technology was the Bitcoin, and I remember that I read an article about the Bitcoin on the Bloomberg terminal when I'm working for the Bloomberg Businessweek Turkish edition, and then I get interested in that technology. I make some small investigation about it. The year was about 2013 or something like that. Then I left everything. It was too complicated for me. And I said myself, what is that? I can understand it, whatever it is. Let's get interested into something else. That was the biggest mistake I ever made. And then when I was started my own company, as I said before, we are creating an internet website, a portal for the Fintech Istanbul platform. And Fintech Istanbul is focusing on the financial technologies. That was around 2016 or 17. And since that day, we started to write articles about the cryptocurrencies, about the blockchain technologies. Those years are, the interest on the blockchain technologies are increasing dramatically, and the valuation of the cryptocurrencies were increasing dramatically. And one day, one of the founders of the platform called me and asked me, "You have been writing articles about the cryptocurrencies and blockchain applications, but there is no answer for the question, what is blockchain? Just create a document where we can get the answer of this question. Then I started to work on that question. I get information from different resources and start to write an article about explanation of the blockchain. Then I found myself that I ended with a book about the blockchain technology, which called Blockchain 101. Let me show it to you. It should be somewhere here. Yeah, this is the first blockchain. This is the first book about the blockchain technology in Turkey, written by me and one of my friends, and that leads me in the blockchain ecosystem. And since that day, I'm always making research about the blockchain platforms, applications. And I force myself to learn the development of the blockchain solutions. And last year, I decided with a couple of my friends, it's the right time that we have to make a blockchain project. And then we started to create Avaxtars.
Okay, so this is so timely and relevant because I have been getting so many questions just from people in my network, in my circle, of what is the blockchain, what is crypto, and so I always want to point them to a good resource because I feel like I'm still on my learning journey as well. It's part of the fun of doing a podcast like this is get to learn alongside everybody else who's in the audience and the community. So, what would be if we could just kind of close this loop on this topic, and then I want to talk about your new project. But if you could kind of give an answer to that question of what
definitely.
is blockchain, what is crypto, what is that answer?
Definitely. Actually, I have been start from the beginning. We have a problem with our brains. We forget things. And since the first day that humans discovered that they are forgetting things, they started to create data to remember things. And data becomes very important, have an important role in the human history because we use data to create civilizations. What is a civilization? Civilization is a term that too many people are living together. They are creating organizations. They have connections between themselves, and it's impossible for a human brain to know every other person. It's impossible to trust, to create trust between companies, between humans, and between people. And thus, data has been used to create rules to organize the civilization. And we on the other hand, we established central organizations to manage those data, to manage those rules. But as we turn back and look to the history, we see those organizations has always have always how to say they use their force, they use their central power, not always for the good, sometimes for the bad. And in 2008, someone come out who we call Satoshi Nakamoto. We don't know whoever he is or she is, or maybe it can be a group, or maybe it can be maybe a country. We don't know whatever he or she is, or it's an organization or not. He said something with nine pages of paper. He said that now I discovered something. You can now create data records without any need of the central organizations. And this system is so powerful that nobody can delete the records, and nobody can change those records. And that changes everything in the human history, because now we have a tool which we are calling blockchain. And blockchain let us create trusted data between different parties without any need to the central organizations. And to be able to create such a data between people and organizations and machines and algorithms, of course, give us the power give us the power to enhance our civilization in a new era. So blockchain is many things, but basically it is the new way of the trust between people, organizations, machines, and algorithms to create data to trust each self without any need of central organization. And cryptocurrencies are just digital data created on this technology. And cryptocurrencies are given to the hands of the people or organizations without any need of the confirmation from any how to say that, without any need to the third parties. So it's going to change everything, but we have to know that the medallion has two faces. On one side, blockchain gives us the possibility, the power to create data without any need of the third parties. It gives us the power of decentralization. But on the other hand, the central powers can use this technology to record everything whatever we done, and it can be used in a bad way to monitor and to manage the community. So we will see whatever it's going to happen in the future, but at the moment it seems this technology already changed too many things, and it's going to change too many things.
So basically, at the simplest level, a blockchain is a public, trusted, agreed upon record of the truth.
Right.
It's like, I see it as like technologically, mathematically proven, undisputable truth.
Exactly. It's a new protocol for the trust.
I love that. So let's take it a little bit. So that's kind of the simple answer from like a high level conceptual. But can we actually dig into like the technology of it? How does this actually work from a technological perspective? Because so many people say, yes, this is the future. Yes, we do need it. But I would say 99% of people don't actually know technically how this thing works.
Okay. Let's assume we are 5 people and we want to make a record about money we have. And on the other hand, we are giving each other money time to time, and we also want to make a record about it. I can do that for everyone, but the problem is that how you can trust to me. If you can't trust to me, I can manipulate the records, and we can create 2 or 3 more centralized records to verify the records. But what if we come together and we agree to manipulate the records? So we need something that to record the data without letting anyone to manipulate it. So the idea behind the blockchain is that every participated record keeper keeps the record using the cryptographic technologies, and let the others know how he or she is doing that, and the others can verify the records he or she is doing that in the right way. And we're calling this consensus mechanisms. Bitcoin is using the approach of proof of work, and the new platforms are using some other approach like proof of stake or maybe other consensus mechanisms. In this approach, every record keeper creates the records by using the rules, and those rules are predefined and guaranteed by using the cryptographic approach. So if you're gonna make a manipulation on the data, the others can detect this manipulation very quickly and kick you out the system. If you can't manipulate the data, you have to do the work in the right way. And if you do this in the right way, you will be awarded with the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin for the Bitcoin blockchain, and some other cryptocurrencies on the other blockchain platforms. So you have to keep the records within the rules, predefined rules, and then you have to share it with the others. The others should verify it. Then everyone keeps the same record on themselves, and that let us to create too many people or organization come together to keep the records without trusting to each other, but trusting to the mathematically, cryptographically created consensus mechanism that makes the blockchain powerful.
So basically, we have a group of people who are coming together that want to use this technology. And then the folks that are using the technology are then all agreeing on what is happening on a transaction by transaction basis. And they're checking it based on math and this idea of proof of work, which is, and maybe you could go into the difference between proof of work and proof of stake, right? Because again, there's the concept of we have miners, we have proof of work, that kind of makes sense. But then on a proof of stake, we have nodes, but we also kind of have miners, but not really. So maybe we can go into the difference between those two, just so we're totally clear on this.
Okay. First of all, my English is not so perfect. Sorry for that.
That's totally fine.
Thank you. Proof of work is a consensus mechanism where you create data based on a search. You are searching a specific hash value of the data you are going to record on a block. So the only way to find this spatial hash data is trying. You have a constant data which you are going to record on the block, but you have to find a specific hash data based on that value. But we know the hash mechanism always creates the same signature. So you have to change a parameter to find a specific hash value. And this parameter called as nonce, number used once. You're going to try for 1 trillion times, 10 trillion times, whatever. And you start with the number 0. You give the constant value that you are going to record on the blockchain. You give 0 and get the hash. Now, this is not the right format that I'm looking for. You try 1, you try 2, and you have to try that for several trillion times or billion times, whatever. And when you find the specific hash output, you cheer yourself. Now I found the right result, and you publish it to the network. I found it. This is the data that I'm going to record on a block, and this is the nonce parameter which is used to get the specific hash result. And the others can verify this very quickly, and if you are right, everyone start to record that data on their blockchain nodes, and they publish that data to the network again. And with this approach, you have to use powerful computers because the others are searching the same output at the same time, and this is a rush. Whoever finds the result for on the first line will be awarded with Bitcoin or Ethereum on the proof of work systems. This is how the proof of work works. And because people are building more powerful computers, those more powerful computers requires more electricity, more energy to run, and and on the other hand, you need to cool those systems because they are working on the 100% pressure. CPU usage are very high. You have to cool the devices, and it requires too much energy consumption. Because of this, proof of work is a little bit not wanted or preferred way by the modern blockchain platforms. The modern blockchain platforms like the Solana, Avalanche, or Polkadot, and whatever the Ethereum is trying at the moment to change itself into the Ethereum 2.0 is an approach which we are calling proof of stake. Within proof of stake, you are staking some cryptocurrency of that platform on a specific node, and then you start to create records without need a search of specific hash. You are creating hashes. You are creating the records. You have to follow the consensus, but it's not a hurry by different people at the same time to find just a specific value, and it's not a rush. Because of that, those systems doesn't require to have too powerful computers or to spend too much energy. But those are blockchains too. They are using likely cryptographic consensus mechanisms like the proof of work, but it doesn't require any need of high energy consumption or energy consumption. So proof of stake is preferred by the new blockchain platforms, and I think we need to separate Bitcoin from the others. Bitcoin becomes something like the digital gold of this blockchain ecosystem, cryptocurrency ecosystem, and it's going to use proof of work for a long time. I can't say what's going to happen beyond 2114. At that date the last Bitcoin gonna be created. I can't say beyond that anything about beyond that, but we know that the modern blockchain platforms like the Avalanche, Solana, and Polkadot, where people are creating smart contracts, where people are creating business models with smart contracts, are using proof of stake. It's a healthy way to create a blockchain without consuming too much energy.
So let's drill down into this idea of proof of stake. It seems like proof of works, that's a pretty easy concept to fully grasp, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have different nodes that are basically all trying to solve very complex math problems, and whoever gets there first wins the reward, publishes the next chain in the block, and everybody else then verifies, and life goes on. But for proof of stake, and so that makes sense why it's very power hungry, because everybody's trying to solve very complex problems at the same time, and there's a lot of duplication of effort. On the proof of stake model, how do you decide who is going to solve what problem? It seems like it makes sense that only one group or one node is going to solve one problem, so there's not as much duplication. But how do you decide who gets to solve that problem, and in what order? And then what's the checking mechanism after that?
Actually, there are some likely cryptographic approach on the proof of stake, but the difference between proof of work and proof of stake, the biggest difference is that you are staking some amount of the cryptocurrency of that platform. For example, on Avalanche platform, you have to stake 2,000 AVAX into a node, and if you are going to manipulate that node, the software of that node, the others can detect it, and then you're gonna lose that staked amount of 2,000 AVAX. And this is really a big how to say that. Let me find the right word.
Like a penalty. It's like
like a penalty, right? Like a penalty, and nobody wants to lose so much money by just trying to manipulate the system. This is the most important approach of the proof of stakes. And on the other hand, how to say that, let me define it. The magic behind proof of stake is creating an algorithm where all the nodes do the transactions as quickly as possible and finalize them without interrupting each other, and sharing the data as quickly as possible between them. For example, in Bitcoin, the block sizes are 4 megabytes, but in Avalanche, Solana, even in Ethereum, it's using proof of work at the moment and trying to switch itself into proof of stake. The block sizes are getting small and small and small. So you can create many, many blocks in a short time of period. That gives the scalability option to the new kind of blockchain platforms. This is the magic. If you don't want to get a penalty for your staked amount of cryptocurrency on a proof of stake blockchain system, you have to do your job right, and the rest will be handled by the algorithm of the blockchain platform.
So basically, a node is almost like a decentralized source of just calculation that the internal blockchain's algorithm, whatever the technology, the math is, that is the main engine, the main driver of the blockchain. It then determines which nodes do what things at what time, and then if they do it correctly according to the algorithm and the rules set up by the blockchain, then they if they do it correctly, then they get rewards. If they do it incorrectly, then they get penalized. So it's actually just math at the end of the day, and technology in the form of an algorithm that's deciding who's checking everything's correct, and then it can be, again, publicly verified because it's all published and it's public and it's the blockchain.
Exactly. Thank you very much for the simplification of what I tried to explain.
Oh, you explained it perfectly. I was just making sure that I was still following you, and and making sure I was still on the same page. Perfect. Okay, so clearly you've done a lot of research and a lot of work to understand this. You wrote the book on it, literally, and so now moving into Avaxtars, why that? Why did you it's a browser based play to earn game based on what I know about it. So first, why did you decide to go with Avalanche as your platform of choice? And then second, why did you decide to build a crypto gaming project? Clearly, I'm very biased for crypto gaming. I love it. I started the Crypto Gaming Institute, but I'd love to just kind of hear your thought process of why Avalanche and why crypto gaming specifically.
We choose Avalanche because Avalanche is a new kind of blockchain platform. They call themselves as the new generation and the next generation of a blockchain platform. The transaction finalization is under 1 second, and the transaction fees are very low. And as we are started our project, we decided to use Avalanche because the ecosystem was small. And we think that we gonna grow with the ecosystem of the Avalanche. As the ecosystem of the Avalanche will grow, we will grow with them, and that was a good approach we see, and that was one of the reasons we choose Avalanche. The second reason, I already said that the transaction finalization and the cost of the transactions are very low on Avalanche. And on the other hand, the founder and CEO of Avalanche is Emin Günsirer, professor in Cornell University, is from Turkey, and maybe that creates a connection, emotional connection between us. We love him, and maybe this is another reason why we used Avalanche. And on the other hand, we launched a gaming project because even I pass 44 years, I have been always a good gamer. I said you before, I started writing articles about the gaming technologies for the gaming magazines during my university years. And before that, I started playing computer games. And for the last 30 years, I have been playing with computer games. I played many different games. So I like games. And as I have been working on blockchain, I'm playing games. Then when we decide to make something on the blockchain technology or based on the blockchain technology, it was a good idea for us to start a gaming project.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So when you're thinking about all the different possibilities of the blockchain and crypto and everything that you could have gone into, I love the fact that you chose gaming.
Mhm.
I too I've been a gamer since I was 6 years old, and 20 plus years later, I still am. Still am a happy gamer too. So it seems like a lot of people in crypto, in blockchain, and in tech, we all have that common thread of being gamers, and
Mhm.
that's super interesting to me. So kind of take me through the idea of how you designed the game. Why did you choose to make it more of an idle game, and
Mhm.
just what was the thought process of, like, of all the different things you could have done. You chose gaming, and we talked about that, but then
Mhm.
within the realm of games there's so many things you could have done. Why did you choose this specific model? And then maybe you could take us through what the model looks like and break it down for us.
Okay, I will explain the mechanics of the Avaxtars later. But first of all, we think that at the moment, having the trust to yourself to start to creating a game is a not easy process. There are big studios, there are big gaming companies, and there are many different AAA games. There are many indie game developers, and even we have been good game players, but creating a game is something very different. But there is a thin line between the core hardcore gamers and crypto ecosystem, I think. Uh, if we gonna decide to create a game where we are going to compete with indie game developers, small or mid-sized gaming studios, that was impossible for us. So we decided to create a browser-based idle game. Think about the O game or browser-based text games. Uh, think about that you have the possibility to create a game at the ends of the 19th or at the beginning of the 2000s. I think that deciding to create a blockchain-based game is the right choice because the crypto community, even they may play games, but they are in search of something else. They are in search of a good story, first of all. Then they want to make investment into the something, and they want to spend not too much time, but a little bit time to that investment, and they want to get some profit from that investment, and gamifying that investment with a browser-based game is a good idea because we are letting people to make some investment into our project and get some gaming assets as NFTs, and using those NFTs they are be able to earn some tokens, and then they gonna spend those tokens for the gaming mechanisms, for the gaming economy, and then they have the possibility to make some profit from it. And creating this system is not the same thing creating a game in a conventional gaming ecosystem. It's much easier for us. The trick is that you have to build a healthy economical ecosystem, and when you do that, you just put it into a good storyline, and then make it good assign to it a good visualization, and then it becomes a game like the early games on the beginning of the internet. So for us it is easy to do that, and we are not competing with the conventional gaming studios, and we are creating something good where people can play, get a part of a big community, and then make some profit from it. Whatever a crypto enthusiast, whatever a crypto guy or girl wants. Let me summarize again. This is the way how the crypto people think. We are delivering that.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. I love the idea to really differentiate yourself from the other games. And I mean, it almost puts you in a different category where you're
Mhm.
still a game and it's still fun, but it's a new type of thing altogether. I mean, it's a totally new project altogether.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So coming from the background of, it seems like you're more communications based, business based,
Mhm.
game based. How did you actually go about finding the development team and the technical people that you needed to be able to execute
Yeah.
on this idea?
Yeah, I was a little bit lucky because I have a background with IT management, and also I have a good background with media companies, and I have managed many different projects for the media companies to establish both physical and digital platforms. So I already have some connections on the development side. The project lead of our team is Ozan Akçora, and he has a company where he has been serving for the media companies and serving for the e-commerce companies, and he has developed an infrastructure, a framework, which he's calling Butterfly, and we are using that infrastructure, that framework to develop our games. So Ozan is one of my friends for more than 15 years. And when we start to think about creating a blockchain-based game, I called him and I asked him, we want to create such a project. Would you like to be a part of it? And he said yes. And at that point, he have been a professional developer. He has a company where many software developers are working for it, but he has not too much knowledge about the blockchain technology. We worked together to explain what is blockchain, how you can develop it, how you can develop smart contracts, and it takes only less than a month for him to discover everything on blockchain, to create smart contracts and start our project. And we used the Butterfly infrastructure to create the gaming assets and the dynamics and other things. And then we have the possibility, we have the chance to launch our project in less than 2 months. That was possible because of my background.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So it seems like you have some really good synergy with your, with
Yeah.
your dev, which is perfect. So let's talk a little bit about the actual mechanics of the game. Like, how does
Mhm.
it work? What does the ecosystem look like? And yeah, just explain that to us.
Yeah. Let me share my screen with you to
Perfect.
explain the game.
Hmm.
This is Avaxtars. Everything started with the Generation 1 Avaxstar NFTs. Actually, Avaxtars is an abbreviation of the Avax Stars. We launched our project on Avalanche Blockchain, and the main cryptocurrency of that blockchain is Avax, and Avax Stars come together, and we create Avax Stars from that words. So we started by selling 10,000 NFTs, like many other NFT collection series, and we used an SVG avatar generator tool from the internet, where everyone can access that tool easily. We got the commercial license for it, and we started to generate 10,000 different characters.
Hmm.
We used a digital genetic code. We are calling that as a digital genetic code. Actually, Ozan managed this process, and we can guarantee that all of those Avaxstar characters are different than each other. Those characters have 5 different rarity levels: common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legend. And the first 10,000 of those Avaxstars are called Generation 1s, Gen 1s. And when we started our project, people started to minting those characters. Then we added a special ability, those characters, which we are calling box drop. Box drop is only dedicated for the first 10,000 Avaxtars, and you can get some boxes from your characters based on the rarity levels of those characters. For example, you can get 5 boxes from a legend character, or you can get 1 boxes from a common character, and those boxes have their own rarity levels, starting from Dangalt, Platinum, and Titanium, and it's completely random what kind of box you are getting from your Avaxtar, and those boxes include some gears, weapons, skills, and vehicles based on their rarity levels, and also they include some AVXT tokens, and AVXT is our main gaming token and limited with 1 million hard cap. So this is the start of our game. And at a certain point, as people are started to getting boxes from their characters and opening them and getting some AVXT tokens, we airdropped our AVXT tokens to the early investors. We distributed 10 AVXT to every Avaxtar owner per character. And then we let them buy a special machine, which we are calling PAGM, Personal Avaxtar Generation Machine. And with this machine, you have the possibility to lock 2 of those characters in that machine and wait for a certain time. And at the end of the certain time, you have the possibility to generate a new character. And we are calling those characters Generation 2 Avaxtars, Gen 2s. And if you will succeed, if you will get a successful result from this device at the end of this period, you will get a new character, and this character will bring you some AVXT tokens as a reward. So the waiting time based on the rarity levels of the Generation 1 characters you locked in that machine. For example, if you lock 2 common characters, you have to wait 7 days. But if you lock 2 legend characters, it's very hard because there are so small people,
they're very scarce.
Yeah. And if you lock 2 legend characters, you have to wait 3.85 days. And at the end of this time, if you lock 2 commons, you have the possibility of the 50% to get a successful result. Or if you lock 2 legends, you have to you have the possibility to get 95% successful result. As I said before, if you will succeed, you will get some new characters with some AVXD rewards. But if you're gonna fail, we will reward you with some other token, which we are calling digital genetic code, DGC tokens, and those tokens is secondary to our game, and these tokens are going to be used to enhance Generation 2 characters into special units, which I'm going to explain you later. At the moment, all of the Generation 1 Avaxtars can be bought from this with AVAX, or you can sell them with AVAX. You can filter those Generation 1 Avaxtars based by box counts or rarities. For example, let's look what is the base floor price of a legend character is 29 AVAX. But if you want to buy one with 5 boxes, then you have to pay 60 AVAX. And also, you may make search about Generation 2 Avaxtars, and you may make searches about boxes, gears, or weapons you can get from the box drops, and you can filter them by rarities and other things. And at the end of the last month, we launched our gamification or gaming finance, whatever you're gonna call it, interface, and we let players to send their Avaxtars to the missions. We have 4 different sections, and every section has different quests, missions, and every missions have some requirements, and those missions are going to give some rewards to you if you're gonna get a successful result. For example, here I have already completed 2 different quests. Let's claim it. It has been ended. Yeah, it failed, but even it fails, we keep rewarding players. I was not be able to hold reward, but I will get a portion of that reward. No problems. Let's try the other one. Let's claim this one. It fails again. No problem. My unluck. Sometimes it succeeds, sometimes it fails. You may start a mission. Let me find a mission from here, and just a second. We select this one and we start this one. And now I'm going to select a generation 2 Avaxtars for this mission. I'm going to select this one. Now I have the possibility to use my gaming assets, weapons, helmets, and other things to enhance my Avaxtar. If I click on that slot, I will get this one. And in addition to that, we are doing something interesting here. We have a metaverse slot here, and you can use this slot to use NFTs from other projects to increase your success rate. For example, if I'm going to use this one, it will increase my success rate for 2%. And this is very interesting. Yeah, this is very interesting approach to the metaverse. Actually, at the moment, companies are advertising metaverse about showing that it's something like a virtual headset, a virtual world, augmented reality, virtual reality, and something that. But this, I don't think this is a metaverse. Metaverse is a concept where you can own a digital asset, and this is guaranteed by using a blockchain technology because you are owning that asset on the blockchain technology. Metaverse is the definition of that. You may use any asset from any project, bring it into another project and use there. This is the real metaverse experience. At the moment, this is only possible on the blockchain technologies. At the moment, we need to create partnerships with the different projects to let our users have this experience. But in the future, I think with the open data standards, this is going to be a very common thing that projects doesn't need to create partnerships to let their users to use their assets from different projects into another project. And why metaverse is so important, become important in the future. And we will be at this is Crypto Mandala NFTs, and Crypto Mandala is one of our side projects which we launched last year. But very soon, here will be many other NFTs from many other projects on the Avalanche blockchain, and even beyond that, we have some plans to let our users to use their NFTs from other blockchain networks. This project is running on Avalanche blockchain. But think about that, you can use an NFT from Ethereum or Solana in this slot. And this is just only the beginning. You may use helmets from other projects. You may use other things from other projects. That opens the gates of the heaven to everyone. And then we may select a vehicle. Unfortunately, I don't have a vehicle. Then I start this mission. This mission going to take about 12 hours. And at the end of this time, I will get a result from this quest. And I have a PAGM devices here. I think one of them is already completed. Here it is. One is completed. Now I'm going to start with this PAGM device, a new process. I have two options to use those PAGM devices. I can produce a new Avaxtar, or I can use DGC tokens. If I'm going to produce a new Avaxtar, I have to use 2 generation 1 Avaxtar for this process. And as I explained before, the waiting time for this process based on the rarity levels of those Avaxtars you used and the success rate based on the rarity levels of those Avaxtars. And if I select to produce DGC tokens, then I have the option to use generation 2 Avaxtars. And this process doesn't have any chance. It's the 100% success rate. At the end of this time, I will get some DGC tokens from this process. Now I'm going to start a standard Avaxtar generation process. Now it started. But I'm going to cancel it because I want to show you something else. I will start it again because I missed to explain it to you. Let me create a new Avaxstar. Here I have an option to accelerate this process. It's going to take 6.3 days. But if I want to speed it up to 2.52 days, then I may pay some AVXD for this process and I may speed it up. This is the healthy gaming economy ecosystem, where players are going to use gaming assets to create new assets to earn gaming tokens, and where players have options to pay with the gaming tokens and spend them. Whenever someone spends some token here, those tokens going to be added to the gaming reward pool, and those pools will be continued to used to distribute rewards to our players. Now we have some plans. Let me summarize my presentation. Now we have some plans to launch a laboratory at the end of this month. And with this laboratory, our players will get some new devices. And with those devices, they're going to produce some energy tokens. They produce some digital genetic code tokens. They're going to produce new units by converting their generation to Avaxtars. We are calling those devices unit converter, for example. And by converting generation to Avaxtars into scientists, and scientists will be used to enhance those devices to higher levels. And also, players will be able to convert their Avaxtars into soldiers. And when they're going to do that, they have to spend some DGC tokens and NXT tokens for this process. But at the end of this process, they will get some soldiers, and soldiers will be used in the player versus player mechanics in the upcoming periods of the Avaxtars. This article will be published soon. And after we release the PvP mechanics of the game, and we have some plans to launch this game on other blockchain platforms like Solana, Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, maybe others. And then we will let our players to create guilds and make fights between other blockchains. And we are calling this going to be a first blockchain wars. And I really would be happy if players or people are going to enter our website via avaxtars.com and read the details on our website, visit our Telegram and Discord groups, join them. They can always get answers for their questions. We would be happy to help them. And we have very transparent communication approach with our community. We have been always listening them. They are finding bugs. They are finding unwanted things from the game. They are suggesting new things. We are always considering those suggestions and feedbacks, and we are creating the game with the community. This is one of our powerful side, and our community is happy with us, we think. And this is the presentation of the Avaxtars.
I love it. I love it. And I appreciate you going through everything and showing us. And I just want to say it's very rare to actually find a project that has real gameplay, real game loops, real feedback loops. Seems like you have multiple currencies and you're thinking through a lot of things. So I just wanted to pay you that compliment that I think you guys are ahead of the curve as far as having like a real product that's that's actually being used by people and players. So that's fantastic. So I want to scope out a little bit, and I want to talk about what you see as far as the future of crypto gaming, and how early are we? Like, where are we on the timeline of crypto gaming, and where do you see it going in the future?
We are at the beginning of the new era. Think about the first days of the internet. Think about the browser-based games of the first times of the internet. We are at that point for the blockchain technologies. We are at that point for the gaming projects on the blockchain networks. But we have the knowledge how it's going to change quickly. It took about 20 years to create online games, letting people get into the virtual worlds like World of Warcraft and other projects. And now we have a very big gaming industry. It's bigger than Hollywood. It's bigger than the other industries. Yesterday Microsoft bought
Activision Blizzard.
Activision Blizzard, yes, for a huge huge price. And the same thing is going to happen on the blockchain side, but it would take some time, but it's going to happen quicker than the last 20 years happened on the conventional gaming industry. And this would give the power to the players to have their own assets. What I mean, if you have some knowledge about the World of Warcraft, you can create a character, you can play it, you can level it up, you can collect many gears, weapons, and other things, many mounts. You can earn in-game gold, but Blizzard doesn't allow you to sell them without their control. You have to sell whatever they allow you to sell on the auction house, and they are managing that auction house. They can stop whenever they want it, and they don't let you bring gaming assets outside of the game, bring it to another game, into another game, and use there. Blockchain will change this. I am the player spending time, my life, to develop my character, or to mine new things, to get gaming assets, and I should be the one who own those assets, who owns those assets, and I should be the one who have the possibility to bring those assets outside of the game, bring them into another game, use there, or I should have the option to sell them wherever I want to. For example, at the moment, people are selling their NFTs on OpenSea, Rarible, on many different NFT marketplaces. Think about that. You can do this for every digital asset from the gaming perspective or from another perspective. We are earning miles from the flight programs. We are earning bonus points from the websites that we are visiting. Many loyalty programs are rewarding you with some tokens. They are already rewarding you, but those assets are not on blockchain. If all of those assets would be moved on the blockchain, then we're gonna have the power to manage our assets. And I think this would happen, and this would happen in less than 10 years. And because of that, the conventional gaming companies are not very likely to launch their projects or move their projects to the blockchain. But it will happen.
I could not agree more. I completely agree. I think it's going to be such a game changer for the world, for gamers, for the crypto gaming space, for the gaming space, for the metaverse. It's going to fundamentally change not only gaming. That's going to be the first industry that this technology is going to impact, but everybody who creates, no matter what you create, eventually it is going to impact that and make it better. That's my belief. That's my hope.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really appreciate you, taking time from your busy schedule to come chat today on the show. Really have enjoyed our conversation, and I appreciate your insight. So I just want to say thank you very much for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely. And we've been having a rockin' community today. I'm just looking at all these comments here. I'm not sure if you can see that on your side, but if you can, do you want to give a shout out to some of the commenters here and show some love to the community?
Yeah, many comments. Thank you very much, guys. We have been always very close with our community, and we are always welcoming to new joiners, new members of our community. We would be glad if you're gonna visit our website and join us on our Telegram and Discord channels. And you can always ask anything from those channels to me, to my team members. We would be happy to answer you. And thank you very much for your time.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Well, thanks again for your time, and everybody watching and listening. Thank you. And I will see you all on the next episode.